Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Steph Samarato and Ron Placone.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello.
So Chuck Todd tweeted this out. Now, you know the biggest... Anyway, let's just get to it. Chuck Todd tweeted this out. He said, I miss the days when people muttered nutty conspiracy theories to themselves while meandering down a sidewalk. Now they share it on Twitter with millions of followers, and for some reason, some folks amplify it. Treat these tweets the way you'd treat the sidewalk mumbler. Look away. So that's Chuck Todd telling you, like, I'll be the arbiter of what's crazy and what's not. What I tweeted out was, I miss the days when guys like Chuck, who were actively propping up Trump via the Pied Piper strategy, would call progressives nutty conspiracy theorists because they thought the media and the DNC were cheating Bernie and rigging a primary. Then WikiLeaks proved it was true. Hashtag Pied Piper. But so I show you that because the real slam dunk is coming right here, and it's Glenn Greenwald, and he says, remember those days when people muttered nutty conspiracy theories about Saddam having an alliance with Osama bin Laden, building a major nuclear arsenal, and participating in the 9/11 attack? But they didn't mutter those on sidewalks, but on major news outlets, and then they all got promoted for it. Yeah, that's what the biggest conspiracy of my life was, the Iraq War. And then the war crimes ordered afterwards to cover it up, because that's why they ordered those war crimes. Torture. That's why you don't torture people to get information. You torture people to get them to say something you want them to say. So I thought that was a bit of a slam dunk for Glenn Greenwald. What is this? So he doesn't realize that just a few years ago, every news organization in the country was pushing a now debunked conspiracy theory at the top of their lungs. Do you know that Brian Williams on NBC News, the host of NBC News, got fired for lying about the Iraq War? Do you know, but that wasn't the biggest lie. That's called stolen valor, what Brian Williams did. That what got him in trouble. He said he took enemy fire when he didn't. But you know what his real crime was, Brian Williams? He used to bring on retired generals, onto his news show, and what we thought they were doing was giving us the straight dope about the Iraq War so we, as an informed electorate, can make our informed opinions and decisions about it. But what Brian Williams didn't tell you was that those generals weren't objective observers, that they were in fact being paid by defense contractors to come on his show and lobby for more war, and even sometimes specific weapons of war made by the defense contractor that was paying the general. Brian Williams never told you those generals were being paid by defense contractors. That's called a breach in ethics. He never told you that. You know who did tell you? The guy who told you won the Pulitzer Prize for it in the New York Times. Brian Williams still never told his listeners and his viewers that the people coming on to talk about the Iraq War were being paid by defense contractors. He never told them. And now Brian Williams has another show on MSNBC called The 11th Hour, where he gets to have orgasmic moments looking at missile launches. So I don't get like Chuck Todd, not a smart guy. So if you ever watch broadcast news, Chuck Todd is William Hurt. He's not the brightest. But he gets the job because why? Because he's willing to do he doesn't even probably know why that's stupid, what he tweeted. I guess he doesn't remember what NBC News was doing during the Iraq War. And right now, what everyone's doing, pushing this Russiagate thing, which, let's be honest, has zero evidence of collusion. Lots of evidence of financial misdealings between Trump and everybody else and all. Yes. So again, right in the middle of pushing another conspiracy theory, he tweets this out. I'll throw it over to my panel. Anything?
Chuck Todd is like that little kid that like parrots a combination of things they heard adults say, and then they repeat it and they get praise from it. Like people think it's funny and pat them on the back, but they don't really know what they just said.
Right.
Like Chuck Todd is
that guy.
Newsman version of that.
And to like constantly berate anybody with a dissenting opinion and
Yes.
saying that we're mumblers or we're crazy isn't serving democracy.
So when you push a war or a conspiracy for a war, you're called a patriot. When you push back against a war, an illegal war, that's bullshit, the news calls you a conspiracy theorist. CNN, because we push back against the lies that are the Syrian war, they've called us at this show that. Why? Because we go against the war narrative. Chuck Todd pushes the war narrative, and that's not conspiracy. That's not crazy. He's sane. The Iraq War made a lot of sense. He's sane. Libya, overthrowing Muammar Gaddafi illegally. That made a lot of sense. Now they have open slave trading happening in Libya. It's a failed state, haven for terrorists. Same thing in Syria, doing the bidding of the terrorists in Syria, trying to overthrow a secular government.
It really is incredible where we
It's
have every
incredible.
American right now. The majority of Americans are $500 away from a disaster in their life.
Right.
And there's this constant increased spending of our military budget. And people think you're crazy when you want peace.
Yes, when you want to end the wars. Well, let's here. So here's some of that. You remember the crazy conspiracies that people mutter on Twitter? Well, here's one from NBC News.
There was constant discussion about him hiding out in caves, and I think many times the American people have a perception that it's a little hole dug out of a side of a mountain.
Oh, no.
This is it. This is a fortress.
Yes.
A complex, multi-tiered, bedrooms and offices on the top, as you can see. Secret exits on the side and on the bottom. Cut deep to avoid thermal detection. A ventilation system to allow people to breathe and to carry on. The entrance is large enough to drive trucks and even tanks.
All made up. None of that's true. All made up. None of it is true. That's all big, crazy conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat, crazy conspiracy stuff, except it's happening right on Meet the Press. And watch how, now this guy's going to pop. Now watch the Secretary of Defense is going to even add more to the lie.
Even computer systems and telephone systems. It's a very sophisticated operation.
Oh, you bet. This is serious business. And there's not one of those. There are many of those.
There's none of those. These guys spun conspiracy, crazy, wacky conspiracies, and guys like Tim Russert helped them. Guys like Chuck Todd helped them. Guys like Brian Williams, they did the conspiracy spinning for them. These guys are crazy tinfoil hat. These guys are crazier than Alex Jones. You know why? Because Alex Jones never started a frickin' war and lied about it. You know who did? Don Rumsfeld. You know who helped him? Tim Russert and NBC News. You tell me who's really detrimental to our society. These motherfuckers? I think they are. Most people I know watch Alex Jones as a comedy show. People actually take Chuck Todd, Tim Russert, Donald Rumsfeld, NBC News, Meet the Press. They take that stuff seriously. So that's why when they spin conspiracies like this, that are completely crazy tinfoil hat mental stuff, but why are they doing it? Because they want to start an illegal war, and then the media helps them go right along with it. And then Chuck Todd has the balls to tweet out about someone else as a conspiracy theorist. And then you wonder why people get their news from YouTube. And by the way, tip of the hat, Adam Johnson found that video, and he tweeted it out. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, I was just going to say the difference is these are establishment-approved conspiracy theories. When you parrot uncritically establishment-approved conspiracy theories, you're just making journalistic mistakes.
Yeah,
It's those other theories that goes against the establishment.
Right.
Then you're bad.
That's when you're correct. Exactly, Ron. So they just all got it wrong. There was just bad intelligence. That's what Chuck Todd will tell you. We just got it wrong. So exactly what Ron says. So when you're pushing the lie, the propaganda that props up the establishment and the government, you're just making journalistic mistakes. When you actually call those mother effers out for their lies and journalistic mistakes, that's when they call you a crazy cuckoo conspiracy theorist. Why? Because you don't believe in conspiracies. Oh, I forgot to mention that last night on the show. So this happens a lot. When people don't buy into conspiracies, like right now, I keep asking for evidence of collusion, of treason, of the fact that Trump is a Manchurian candidate. I keep asking for evidence of this wild conspiracy theory people have. It's ubiquitous. People will literally say, oh, Jimmy's a conspiracy theorist. And people will say, why? And they'll say, because he doesn't believe that Russia hacked our election. So what they're actually saying is they're calling people a conspiracy theorist who don't believe in conspiracies. So do you see why that term was invented? The term conspiracy theorist was invented by the CIA to discredit people who are onto their bullshit. And so now people use it just to discredit you if they disagree with you. That's exactly what's happening. And when the people get caught, So when the powerful people, the establishment people get caught making up conspiracies that actually lead to illegal wars, are they embarrassed? They're not only not embarrassed, but they put on a black tie and go make jokes about it. That's what they do.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
And then they laugh right in your face. They laugh right. Hey, remember when we lied and everybody in the news repeated that Saddam was working with Al Qaeda and had weapons of mass destruction, and then we invaded them illegally? We did it all for oil. Remember that? Wasn't that funny?
I'd like to know, the people that attended that correspondence dinner, how many of their children participate in the military and they think that's so funny?
I know, right? Exactly. Is there anybody there who's got a dead kid in the military who's laughing over these jokes? I wonder.
Who's in that room that thinks it's so fucking funny?
Reporters.
He can't find the weapons of mass destruction.
Well, look where this is from. This is from the Washington Correspondents Association dinner. That's where this is from. So all the reporters are in there laughing. And now you know why the country's in the state it is, because we don't have a fourth estate anymore. The criminals bought the news people. They're applauding a war criminal joking about the lie he told to get us to start an illegal war.
And this is the president that people say,
Oh, yeah.
I really miss President Bush.
Yeah, things like Bush was bad, but Trump is... how many illegal wars has Trump started so far? Now, I think he's just maintaining. In fact, Trump didn't want to bomb Syria, and everybody was giving him a hard time about it.
They even helped to explode his military budget just in case.
They did, just in case Trump was a little...
He's so crazy, they help to increase his military budget. That's how crazy Trump is, everybody.
And then let's praise him when he does drop bombs. He's such a knee-jerk, crazy reactionary,
Yes.
but he's presidential.
When he bombs people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Chuck Manson is crazy, unless he's bombing someone. So there you go. So now you know why people get their news from YouTube, and now you know why Chuck Todd has that job. Chuck Todd has that job not because he's evil, but because he's dumb enough to push evil unwittingly. That's why. That's all those people are, except for Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes. They know what they're doing, which makes them worse than Chuck Todd. Because they're smart enough to know that they are tools of they are cogs of an evil wheel. Is that that's not right.
See, I think Chuck Todd could have made a fine actor, but he had problems memorizing the lines. So he's like, I can read this shit every day.
Yeah, just read it.
This is my gig.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There's your news media that doesn't spin conspiracy theories, except they spin the biggest ones always. Now, Chuck Todd, I bet he's going to go tell you how much Medicare costs more than our regular system. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are, you're probably not. It only takes a second to check, and then you have to ring that bell so they send you a notification when we drop a new video. Otherwise, they won't tell you when we drop new videos. And if you like our show, please help support it. Become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week, and we give a live stream. We do a live stream every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time when you could ask us questions, and we answer them back. Thanks for your support.